Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Sunday, May 22nd, and this is the MLB DFS video for today. So in today's video, we'll be taking a quick look back at yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, talking about my core plays for the FanDuel main slate today. I believe it is a 12-game main slate overall. And then going over to my article over at WeBetATS.com and talking about my top GPP stacks for today as well. But without further ado, we'll get started with a recap of yesterday's picks. At the pitcher position, we had Joe Ryan, $9,100. He got us 38 points. He was a hit. He ended up being the 5th overall pitcher on yesterday's slate. And if you went just based off my cheat sheet yesterday, Justin Verlander, Joe Ryan, and Michael Lorenzen, those three guys were all top 5 pitchers yesterday. Obviously, Justin Verlander was number 1. Michael Lorenzen tied for number 3, and then Joe Ryan at 5th. So then we had second base / third baseman Luis Arraez, $2,600. Got us 28.6 points yesterday. He was a hit. He was the top second baseman, top third baseman yesterday, and the second overall hitter on the entire slate. So very, very good value there. Then we had Anthony Rendon, $3,100. Got us 6 points, so he's a push yesterday. Wasn't a guy that hurt us, but wasn't a guy that helped us overall. And then we had Hunter Renfroe at $3,000, 9.7 points. Gave him a hit yesterday, just shy of that 10-point threshold, but really close to it, so it was a hit regardless. And then last but not least, we had Shohei Ohtani, $3,900. Got us 9.2 points. I gave him a push. Typically, if it's 9 points or more, I'll give it a hit, unless it's kind of one of those guys, right around that $4,000 range. So did give him a push yesterday, but we had 3 hits, 2 pushes. Pretty solid day all around. Could have been a little bit better, but also could have been a lot worse too. So not really going to complain in terms of yesterday. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to the core picks for today. So we're going to start off with the pitcher position with Shane Bieber, $8,600, averaging 30.5 points so far on the season. Kind of been a rough start for him this year. He's kind of been hit or miss. There's been really good starts. There's been some not so good starts. Hopefully we're hitting the good start today. Obviously going against the Detroit Tigers at a potentially reduced price tag of $8,600. Definitely offers a lot of upside when we're building lineups today. And then with that being said, he does have pretty good history versus these Detroit hitters as well. Then we move down to first baseman / second baseman Max Muncy, $3,000, averaging just over 8 fantasy points per game on the season. When you look at the batting average, it's not quite there, but he's been hitting the ball a little bit better as of late. Goes against the Phillies and Zach Eflin today. He is 4 for 8 versus him with 2 home runs in his career, so definitely does offer a ton of upside. A lot of these Dodgers have hit Zach Eflin very, very well in the past. Obviously, 2 of them did make my core, but we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Then we have second baseman Ozzie Albies, $2,900, probably the cheapest price tag you're going to see for Ozzie Albies all season. Been starting to hit the ball a little bit better. He's 7 for 22 versus Sandy Alcantara, the starter for the Marlins today. So definitely have a lot of interest in Ozzie Albies once again today. Like I said, you're not probably going to see this price tag once again this season, so you might as well take advantage of it when you can. And then we move down to the outfield with Giancarlo Stanton, $3,700, averaging over 12 fantasy points per game on this season. Been on a pretty good hot streak as of late. Obviously, we know what he can do on the baseball field in terms of hitting when he's hot. And then he does face Johnny Cueto today. He is 7 for 17 versus him with 3 home runs in his career. Obviously, this is the second start Cueto's making this season, although the first start was pretty good. You never know what you're going to get with him and what kind of shape he's in overall. And then last but not least, we have Cody Bellinger, $2,700. He's averaging just over 9 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against Zach Eflin, another Dodgers hitter. 3 for 10 with 2 home runs versus him in his career, so it does offer a ton of upside as well. But with that being said, if you go to the 5 players that I do have listed here, you'll have $14,100 remaining, just over $3,500 per player. So if you want to pay up for a player, pay down for a couple guys, definitely something that's an available option to you. If you want to take a little bit more balanced approach and pay for a lot of guys right around $3,500, you can definitely do that as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to my article over at WeBetATS.com and talk about my top GPP stacks for today. So we're going to start off with the Toronto Blue Jays. This was an easy one for me just because they're going against the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds aren't that great this season. Then they have Graham Ashcraft, who is making his MLB debut today. So he's a prospect I'm not super high on to start with. So there is definitely a lot of upside here. Although the Blue Jays hitters have kind of struggled as of late. So could be a little bit of ownership play there. Could be an interesting stack. Might turn out, might not turn out. Then I do have the Minnesota Twins going against Brady Singer and the Kansas City Royals. These Twins hitters have hit him very, very well in the past. He's pitching a little bit better this year, so we'll see kind of how that shakes out, whether the Twins hitters win out once again or if Singer continues his good streak that he started off this season so far. Then obviously we have the Dodgers hitters going against Zach Eflin. As I mentioned, a lot of these guys do have good history versus him. Max Muncy, Cody Bellinger already in the core. Trey Turner has a very good history versus him as well. But definitely a lot of guys that you could stack in this Dodgers lineup if you really wanted to do so today. Then last but not least, we do have the Houston Astros going against Taylor Hearn of the Texas Rangers. Last time he pitched against them, about 5 innings, gave up 4 runs. Nothing special there. Good opportunity to attack once again, and he's obviously not one of the stronger starters on today's slate overall, so Astros are going to be looking pretty good once again. But with that being said, these are my core picks as well as top GPP stacks for today, May 22nd. As always, if you have any questions related to MLB DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on today's slate, whether it's someone from my core 5, whether it's someone from my top GPP stacks, or a completely different player that you guys think I missed. Definitely interested in hearing what you have to say. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, whether it's MLB with these daily MLB DFS videos, whether it's USFL. Typically I put out a video once a week for that, but this week I did put out a post on Twitter and then as well as on my community tab on YouTube, going over team by team, some of the inactives, some of the guys I play in cash, some of the guys I play in GPP on a team by team basis. And then with that being said, if you are a new or current subscriber who's yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily MLB DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.